Bro, when I bought this game, it came with like a sleeve over the case itself, and you just got this like random fucking bitch here with like the headphones and everything. It's got a whole ass fucking setup, my guy. Just sat there like, yes, I love it when these little rotund boys go, "Ah." After torturing myself by reviewing nothing but Pokemon games for a year, I needed a change. I needed something fun and casual to play, something with next to no story. But I also felt like I needed a fresh experience, something I've not tried yet. And then it dawned on me. Rhythm games. Despite always having an interest in them, I've never really played a rhythm game. No Guitar Hero, no Rock Band, no Parappa the Rapper. So I thought, why not find a game that fits into the genre that would be a really nice introduction to the world of rhythm games. And since I'm an absolute whore for Nintendo, I went with Rhythm Heaven. Or Rhythm Paradise. Apparently Brits don't like the word heaven. In my mind, nothing could go wrong. It's a Nintendo game after all. All of this stuff is meant for fucking babies. It can't be that hard, can it?
You are dead wrong.
This game threw me for a damn loop. I doubt it's the hardest rhythm game out there, but it's by no means the easiest either.
The basics of Rhythm Heaven are as follows. Tap, flick, and swipe to the beat depending on what the rhythm game requires. That's it. It sounds simple enough, but for an inexperienced rhythm game player, it can fuck you up. Not the controls specifically, if anything the controls actually work quite well, but by the first remix game you'll have failed a couple times at the very least, because this game is fairly challenging. Speaking of which, I should probably explain how the game works. The game consists of stages called rhythm games. The stages are set out in columns, with you typically playing 4 rhythm games before playing a remix stage, which compiles aspects of all of the previous rhythm games from its respective column. It's honestly quite the challenge, and even though I can play the first remix game without too much trouble now, initially I wasn't ready for the challenge. But even with said challenge, every rhythm game and remix is fun and has its own identity, thanks to the charm and quirkiness present in both the games themselves, as well as the characters. The characters found in the levels kind of feel alive, especially with the expressions they pull when you mess up. They're all brimming with personality, which is quite the feat considering you only see them for 3 minutes at most.
They really help with giving this game its own identity among the vast sea of rhythm games, which is quite hard to do because, again, the characters are only really there for short increments. And the rhythm games are just so fun. The controls are fairly simple and don't take too long to understand. The only real challenge, naturally, is getting the rhythm down. You are treated to tutorials before every game, but they're not always indicative of the speed or feel of their respective game, especially near the later stages. But again, that's not a big deal because the control scheme is so simple, it becomes second nature after the first few games. Although it should be noted that you should take some breaks between games, because it can be quite the workout for your forearm. While playing the game, I found myself occasionally cramping up or feeling a little tired out after a few games, and that's not a knock against the game as a whole or anything, I just thought it should be mentioned.
But even with the slight drawback of the occasional forearm cramp, I found myself coming back to this game again and again, and part of that is thanks to the great songs. Some will feature vocals like in the game Fan Club, while others will feature no vocals like in the game Glee Club. I'm a big fan of both approaches, and of course there are some forgettable songs in both camps, but mostly it's nothing but memorable and fun songs, and memorable and fun games by proxy. If not for the audio, for the sheer charm of the characters present as mentioned before. Speaking of audio, the game is very smart with how it uses audio cues to inform the player of when they should act. As gamers, we're conditioned to pay attention to visual cues more than anything, and even during the first game built to scale, this game attempts to rid you of that habit as it tells you to focus less on visuals. And it's a great and subtle way to introduce gamers to the genre and help them adjust to audio cues rather than visual cues. Another great way this game uses audio is how in songs without vocals, the noises you as a player make act as makeshift vocals or instruments. A great example would be in the game Shoot 'em Up, where the ship's gun plays a sort of call and response role with the lead guitar sound of the track.
It's a truly genius way to make a rhythm game interesting and engaging, and hey, I could be raving about something that all rhythm games do, since my knowledge isn't really all that expansive as we've established. But even if it is something that's commonplace with rhythm games, Rhythm Heaven does it well, and it made me a fan. So I'd say if you get the chance to give this game a go, it certainly wouldn't hurt. It's a pretty fun little game.